Frequency Matters, the RF Microwave Update series. I'm Pat Hindle, and I'm here with my co-host Del Pearson. In this episode, we're going to continue our coverage of the October Passive Components and Integrated Assemblies themed issue. And as a reminder, the cover story is the future of filtering passive components for 5G and 6G, and it discusses the design challenges for those various Gs and gives you new filter technologies that could meet those challenges. So a pretty good article to check out. Del, what do we have for product features? Because we covered technical features in the last episode.
Hi, Pat. We had two product features this month from Spectrum Instrumentation and Infineon IR Hi-Rel. Spectrum Instrumentation shared details on their new digitizers, which have up to 12 channels offering 5 gigasamples per second sampling speed, or up to 6 channels at 10 gigasamples per second. The digitizers are designed to be high fidelity and user-friendly, needing only an Ethernet cable to be controlled by any PC, laptop, or network. They're used for both research and industry applications. Infineon IR Hi-Rel provided details on their rad-hard GaN transistors with JANS qualification. GaN use in space application is expanding due to its performance as a rad-hard HEMT and the benefits of using a wider bandgap semiconductor to optimize operations. Infineon's product has been designed to optimize performance in power systems. Check out the full issue in print or online for more details on these products. And Pat, please tell us about our October tech brief.
Yeah, the tech brief was an 8-way surface mount bandpass filter bank covering 2 to 18 gigahertz in discrete 2 gigahertz increments, and that was from RFMW and ED2. The glass processes are really becoming very capable now, especially in the filter realm. And so we had a special guest join us for this episode, Peter Delos, principal engineer in the Advanced Data Converter Group at Analog Devices, and he joined me to discuss the evolving landscape of direct RF sampling data converters with a focus on their impact on phased array systems. So let's take a look at a clip from that now. As phased arrays migrate to digital beamforming, there are many converters in that system, and there's much discussion around the array gain and dynamic range improvements as channels combine. What do you describe to help our audience understand this area?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's an area for people newer to phased arrays. You hear about this array gain, and it's a little bit confusing initially. What is it? Is it real? How do we make this work? We have several articles out on this. We have some more coming with some of the Quad Apollo work that we're doing. And the general premise, if you start think in terms of even just a power combiner, when you're combining two signals, if the signals or main signals are in phase, you'll get a 20 log n improvement, or basically voltage noise will be 20 log n, power will be 10 log n. And then if the noise is uncorrelated, you will see essentially when you combine channels, you'll get a 10 log n improvement. So the first step is to visualize this with two channels, and then you can visualize how to extend it outward to the whole system. The tricky part is tracking what's correlated and what's uncorrelated. And so correlated terms are generally things that are shared. If there's shared LOs, shared clocks among channels, those whatever noise component of the final noise, that'll be correlated. So you can map this out thinking from a clock and an LO perspective, and then actually become very accurate in some of the predictions. We have some app notes out on that, and I can send links at the end.
Analog Devices is really offering more highly integrated solutions these days and really makes it easier for systems designers. So turning to the news, there's been a lot of action in the acquisition front. Keysight Technologies announced the completion of the acquisition of the Optical Solutions Group from Synopsys and PowerArtist from Ansys. And this was part of the Synopsys acquisition deal. To buy Ansys, they had to sell off some of their divisions or areas that would be too large of a market share to Keysight. And this is right after Keysight had just acquired Spirent, so they've been very active. And then Molex announced that they signed an agreement to acquire Smiths Interconnect, and Smiths received cash consideration for the transaction subject to the customary adjustments for working capital, cash, and debt. And many of us thought Amphenol would probably buy them, but I think Molex must have won out in this case. Also, Verizon announced a definitive agreement to acquire Starry, and they're a leading provider of next-generation fixed wireless broadband services. And this strategic acquisition advances Verizon's differentiated ability to deliver high-speed internet to multi-dwelling units and urban communities, leveraging Starry's millimeter wave technology. And not really purely RF related, Qualcomm announced to acquire Adreno, and this transaction accelerates Qualcomm's technology's strategy to empower developers by facilitating access to the portfolio of edge products and technologies. And this acquisition builds on the company's recent integrations of Edge Impulse and Foundries.io, so reinforcing their commitment to delivering full stack edge platform that spans hardware, software, and cloud services. And that's it on acquisitions. There's a lot going on. So, Del, what did you see in the news this week?
That's it for acquisitions? No more? I have a lot of funding news to share, Pat, along with some quantum news, so let's get into it. Movandi announced that it has raised $40 million in strategic funding to accelerate the global deployment of high-performance connectivity infrastructure across 5G, satellite communications, and fixed wireless access. Ithqa was a strategic investor in this effort, helping bring Movandi to Oman to bridge the gap between Silicon Valley and the Middle East. So I'm excited to see what comes next. In more funding news, Matrix Space, a radar company delivering AI-powered situational awareness in tough environments, announced the completion of its $20 million Series B funding round with new investors, including L3 Harris and some other global partners. NXGSat, a next-generation satellite communications company, announced the successful closing of a €1.2 million seed funding round, so that's quite a bit. This investment will catalyze the acceleration of NXGSat's flagship project, which is a high-speed 5G satellite modem designed to enable interoperability across terrestrial and multi-orbit satellite networks. Moving away from our funding news, Electron, a German quantum startup using microwave pulses rather than lasers to control trapped ion qubits, announced they are using arbitrary waveform generators from Spectrum Instrumentation. Spectrum Instrumentation's AWGs help them increase qubit count as they continue to get this new tech off the ground. So, Pat, tell us about some upcoming events.
Yeah, I recently attended the New Jersey IEEE, MTTS, and APS Joint Chapter Symposium in East Hanover, and they had a great technical program and close to 50 companies exhibiting in the tabletops in the ballroom. So got to meet a lot of great people there, and there were some great talks on antenna technologies and sensing systems, so got a lot out of it. I also attended the annual ComSol Boston conference, and that covers their applications from different partners there, and also the new features of the version 6.4 that's coming out very soon. And I talked to a few people there, and kind of the three major improvements as far as RF and microwave engineers are concerned are the far-field simulation in the presence of a substrate material, multi-conductor transmission line simulation, and kind of a new user-friendly interface. So when that comes out, we'll do a full report on the upgrades there. Del, how about you for news?
Yeah, we just wrapped up EDICon Online, which featured talks on signal integrity, power integrity, PCBs, interconnects, and EMI. You can view them on demand under the Events tab on the Microwave Journal website or go to edicononline.com. Also, our 2026 editorial calendar and media kit are now available. Note that next year we're doing 5 RF and microwave half-day summits. The topics for the summits include radar and electronic warfare, satellite and space, extreme RF applications such as quantum and deep space, 5G, 6G, and Internet of Things, and AI in RF. Each summit will feature 30-minute technical sessions, followed by an hour panel session with the presenters. These educational events will kick off what we hope to be a continuing way to engage with you, our audience. I think that wraps up this episode. Our sponsors are RFMW and Analog Devices. RFMW is a technical distributor of RF and microwave products and now power management. When you start your next design, please consider their multiple product lines. Analog Devices is a leader in the design, manufacture, and marketing of a broad portfolio of high-performance analog, mixed-signal, and digital signal processing integrated circuits used in virtually all types of electronic equipment. Remember, as a member of the industry, a subscription to Microwave Journal is free, so visit our site and subscribe today if you are not already a reader. Please give us a like and subscribe to our channels. Thank you for watching, and join us next time for Frequency Matters because Pat promised to reveal his Halloween costume.